On this week's episode, I'm joined by Chakall, or as he's known around the world, Chef Chakall. Chakall is originally from Argentina. He's a chef, an owner of multiple restaurants, a globetrotter, but his home and his heart is right here in Portugal. And like another chef we had on the podcast previously, Chakall is an incredibly passionate and expressive communicator. So please be warned, this episode contains some strong language. But for now, enjoy my conversation with Chakall. Welcome back. Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, The Simple Life. And I'm really excited to be joined by Chakall, or Chef Chakall. Chef, how are you?
Very good. Chakall, you can call me Chakall. Just the chef is above us, so it's not the...
Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're very welcome. So, Chakall, for most of anybody involved in food and most Portuguese people listening, you don't need any introduction, but maybe you can just tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my mother says it's not a good education to talk about yourself, but if you oblige me, I grew up in a family business, so I'm the fourth generation of chefs, restaurant owners. So my family always ran restaurants, so the only thing I learned in my life was to cook, to serve, to be ready for the people. I'm living in Portugal actually I came here in 97, then I was 1 year, then I went to Africa for 2 years, traveling around Africa. Then I came back on the 2000, and I'm staying here up and down because I have a house in Berlin and I have TV shows in Portugal, in Germany, in China, in Latin America. So we've been always traveling, except the last 1 year and a half, I've been basically docked in Portugal, which I love because I choose to live here because I love the country. But basically in the last 15, 16 years, I've been doing 150 flights a year. So I've been always on the plane. So now it's like I get 2 months of living on the earth, which is amazing. I own 8 restaurants in Portugal. I have a 6 restaurant in Lisbon. I have a restaurant on the Alentejo, then I have a restaurant on Lourinhã, and then I'm the executive chef of 2 restaurants also in Algarve, in Montegordo. Well, I do a lot of things. I'm a guy who cannot stop in a place. I have my own products. I have you're gonna be the first. I'm launching my own gin. You'll probably like gin. I will bring one bottle just to show them. It's in the room. And I have also launching my chili sauces, special Chakall chili sauces, very hot. I ambassador of a few companies in Portugal like Delta, Continente, Peugeot, many. This I remember now, Meo, telecommunications. So, this is the good thing. This is the good side of myself. I will not tell you the bad side of myself.
We only need the good things. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, I've eaten at 2 of your restaurants. I've eaten at the bistro in Areia Branca, and the one in Montegordo, and both were fantastic.
Well, I'm happy. So, you say that because I'm here. No, you cannot say other thing.
I have nothing bad to say. The desserts were amazing at the bistro. We had. Oh wow! Okay.
This is the number 22. We have to. This is you are the one. Probably the first time ever is live anywhere, so I can't see this. When next time when we meet directly, I will give you to taste. I will launch it, but this now is on testing.
Okay, sorry. So soon. I look forward to that. Chakall, I can see you're very, very passionate about Portugal, and you have a great relationship with this country, and have traveled a lot. But maybe you can just take us back to your first visits to Portugal and what you remember about that time. What grabbed you, and what made you want to stay here in this country?
Well, the first time, actually, I came to live without knowing the country, which is quite unusual. Before I have lived in Germany, in France, I live in Paris, I live in Berlin. Then I was working as a journalist, and I decided to change my life. And I say, well, I don't want to live anymore in Argentina. So I sold everything I have in Argentina. I came to Portugal just to organize my trip to Africa, because my dream since I was a kid, I was explaining you have to be a lot with South Africa or with African history. because I read a writer from Southern Africa, which makes me crazy about Africa. And so my dream was like become an explorer and a kind of Livingstone, of modern Livingstone. So I bought a Land Rover in England in '98, and I drove it around Africa. So during the end of '97 and '98, I was living in Portugal. And as I am a journalist. I studied journalism, and I was working for a newspaper. So on this year, I was here in Portugal. I have money for my trip to Africa, but I didn't want to spend it. So I said, well, I cannot write in Portuguese. I cannot work as a journalist here. So the only other thing I know is cooking. So I went to a restaurant. The restaurant became very popular in like this story is a Hollywood story. Oh, hello?
I'm here.
Okay, I know. So I have something here. So in a 3 months was the most successful place in Lisbon in 90. We are talking about beginning of '98. And I started liking the people. Actually, I didn't have any expectation. I came here because of the beach. I wanted to live close to the sea. I'm from Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is 400 kilometers or 300 miles from the coast. So I always have the dream to live close to the sea. Always going on holidays was like 8 hours sitting on the car and then going to the sea. It didn't matter if it was raining or whatever. I mean, we wanted to go to the sea. I say, well, why I cannot live in a place in a seaside coast country? So I came here. I didn't want to live in Spain. I didn't want to live in France or Italy. And say Portugal sounds very original. There is no relation between Portugal and Argentina, not at all. There is not even flights or anything. So it was like discovering. And on that time, I started liking the country. I was not passionate, but I really started liking the country. I like the people. They are humble. And I think this is the most beautiful quality of the Portuguese. They are humble people. And in Europe, it's difficult to find humble people. Wherever you go, they are very stolz, is in German, is very proud of themselves or whatever. I mean, we are all proud of our countries. You are probably proud of South Africa, but in a way that it was not proper. And I really like this low profile of the people, no, like, it's okay, vas andando. And this make a difference to me in my head, a twist. But then I didn't expect to live here for a while. I rent an apartment here. I bought a motorbike, and then I went to Africa for this 18 months. And during that time, I was always thinking, what I'm going to do? I will be cooking. I will be coming back to journalism, because actually cooking was, on the meanwhile, for me, it was not really a job. And then when I came here, when I was traveling in Africa, it came my histrionic part of these things, working on TV, because I was cooking on the markets for the kids and offering the food. So I was buying products, and wow, and I was cutting like the kids, wow, it was like, wow, this is nice not to have public. And then I learned of myself a side I didn't know I have it. And then I came back here in 2000, and I have offers to open restaurants because it was so successful. My short period in Portugal, it was 8-9 months, but it was I was in magazines, and I think on that time was much easier than today to be successful, because it was very limited, the food and the quality. I was making Thai food, and it's like people, wow, Thai food, and I didn't even know how to make it. But I mean, I have been before to Thailand, so I knew how it tasted. So I mean, I managed to do it, but for the people, it was amazing. Or doing sushi. I remember one day, I mean, not even today I can make sushi, but on that time I was making sushi. You know, when you are young, you do whatever. It doesn't matter. You think you're doing sushi. I don't know if the rice was shit, it was cooked or whatever, but and the people like it because it was not sushi restaurant. So it was, and so then I came back in 2000, and I start liking it, and I say, well, and then one thing came to the next. Then I bought an apartment, and then I was staying. Then I started my catering company, and I was quite successful since the beginning. And when you are successful, it's difficult to not like the things. This is from my side. No, from the other side, I always like the people. I think what's make the difference in a country is the people. It's not the weather. We have beautiful weather. We have beautiful food, but it's not unique. And what makes the difference in Portugal is always the people. And this is what I really love, is Portuguese.
Yeah. And I agree with you about the people. They make this place really, really special. Did you feel welcome here from the beginning?
Well, I will tell you, my first 2 meetings, I was terrible. I mean, anyone else will never go back to this country ever. So I came in 14 September 97. I never forget, because I was in England. I went to England on the 7th to visit a friend who was one of the guys who was coming to Africa, so to manage to buy the car. But my friend have an accident with the car, so he was in a hospital like this, and it was on the same week Lady Di died. Lady Diana, Lady Di died.
Oh yeah, Lady Diana.
Yeah, it was all collapsed in London. It was fire, so it was like wow. And I took it. I have a friend who, a lady who I met in India 1 year before. She was Portuguese. She was a daughter of an ambassador or something, Tita. And she said, "Oh, you should come to Portugal." I mean, it was not a case of a lab or anything. I mean, I was very sick in India, in Varanasi, and she helped me with the sickness. And it was my first time ever I met a Portuguese, and she was very helpful. And we end up with a good relation, but no, it was not sexual or anything or kind of that. It was just a nice person. And she said, "Oh, you should come to Portugal." I say, "Okay, well, maybe I came to Portugal. I will organize my trip. I have enough money to come." I didn't come to work here. And when I came here, I saw her maybe 7 or 8 months before in India, and she was still in India. So I didn't know on that time. It was not WhatsApp, nothing like that. No, you send an email, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks later, someone else answer you. And I came here. I took a cab from the airport to Amoreiras, and the taxi driver, he ripped me off. So I saw the double, and I was so pissed off. I mean, I'm Latin American, so what the fuck? You're cheating with me? No. And the guy simulated a heart attack. I have 70 kilos luggage with me, because it was everything. My life, it was with me. So I was expecting to this night to take a train to go to Barcelona, because I have an interview next day with U2, with Bono. I was a music critic. So I have to arrive in Lisbon, left my luggage, and then my plan was, I have a German girlfriend at that time in Hamburg, so I have a train ticket to go there, and then I want to go to North Pole. So I say I have 3 months, I will just travel in Europe for the beginning. So I start with these things. Then I start clinging, you say, the house, ringing on the apartment, and there was nothing. Then I took the apartment. It was on the 7th floor. I thought I ring on the 6th floor, and the old lady answered me, say, "Hello, yeah, I'm a friend of Tita Trigueiros. Is here." Say, "Oh, what the fuck? I say, fuck. I say, fuck. This was my first 2 things important. I say, what I'm doing here, really?
Good start.
Wow, disaster. I mean, 2 things. One cheat me, and the other one send me back home. Basically. Then I touched two floors underneath, and there was a guy answer me, say, "Hello, yeah, look." I explained. The guy say, "Oh, look, we're on the 2nd floor." The guy go in the balcony and say, "Look, I have a problem. I met here." I say, "Oh, please come here, have a drink." Today they are my best friends. So I say to the guys, explain the situation. I say, "Look, I have these 70 kilo bags. At 10 p.m. I have to take a train. I'm going to Madrid, then to Barcelona." I say, "Oh, don't worry. You can leave the things here." I say, "There is no drugs." I say, "Drugs is no problem. We use it. Don't worry." Say, it was so funny, the conversation. And then they invite me for dinner. They took me to the train station to Santa Polonia. And then I say, "I'm coming back in 3 weeks." 3 months later, I was sending a postcard from the North Pole. "Sorry, I'm delayed. If there's any problem," "No, it's okay." So I came back in this middle of December. And this is what the good side, where you see the good Portuguese are, no? And this changed all.
So the first time that you met the guy, and you left your bags in his apartment for 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, I supposed to left for 2 weeks, and I came 3 months later. And the guy was really cool. There was young people. No, they are the sons of a very famous politician. I let you know after they live between France, so modern people between France and Portugal. And I mean, they were really kind. Then when I came back, I stayed in his house for 3 months. Someone I didn't know. So my friend Tita came back from India. "Hey, Chakall," you go, look, I'm here. I have a room here. I'm okay. And then they helped me to rent my apartment. Because on that time you need someone to secure. Say, "Look, we trust you." It was so many good things happened to me that make me always thinking, this is a great country. When I left to Africa, I supposed to left for 11 months. Then I was 18 months. So I left my apartment to a friend who was working in a restaurant here. After 6 months, this guy was working in the expo, during the expo. His guy was sent it away from the restaurant, so he came back to Uruguay, and then he left the apartment, and he left the key to someone in the restaurant. Say, when Chakall come back, here's the key. So, but they were using my apartment as a private house, everyone. So my neighborhood on that time say to the owner, look, this is happening, it's people coming every day, blah, blah. We don't know, Chakall is in Africa somewhere. It was not on the time that you communicate. So I communicate one day, say, look, I'm in Africa. I don't know when I'm coming back. They sent me an email on that time, say, Chef Chakall. Oh, no, it was Chakall. It was not Chef Chakall. They say, we know that there was many people coming into your house. So we called the police. The police came, took the door. We changed the keys. We have the keys. When you come back, your house is safe, like this. So I owe the money for 1 year. So it was 95,000 escudos, which is 450 euros. So I owe them like 6,000 euros on that time, which was much more than 6,000 euros today, no?
Yeah.
And then I came back and I took to the lady and I say, look, I have this problem. Actually, I ran out of money. I came back with zero euro. I spent even the last penny. And the lady say, look, we like you since the first day and we trust you. So when you can pay us, it's okay for us. So there is not many people who will do that, you know.
No.
And actually, I was working as a model for elite models on that time. And the first casting I made, I won the casting and I make like 10,000 euros. And I say 2 months later, say, look, here's the money. Wow, thank you. Say, no, thank you. And I talked to her like 2-3 years ago because they say, we follow your career. We are very proud that we give you the first house here. And it's so nice, you know, it's these things that go to your heart, deep in your heart. And this is why I love this country.
Amazing. You would have noticed, you would have known from all the Portuguese people that you've met along the way. They love to talk about their terra, the village that they're from. What would you consider your terra in Portugal? What would you consider your hometown?
Well, actually, I lived 12 years in Lourinhã, where is Areia Branca. This is maybe 500 meters from my house. I make my career and everything over there. I lived there 12 years. I'm a special citizenship of Lourinhã, which makes me very proud now as a guy there, and I love this land. I really like all Portugal. I've been traveling and doing TV shows all over the country for many years, and I love Lisbon. I think Lisbon is an amazing city, but I could lie you. I will be lying if I say this is better than this. I like Lourinhã because I live there, and I like this. They say, have you been there? Have you been making holidays in Lourinhã?
I've been to, well, it's not far from where I live, so I know Lourinhã reasonably well.
You live in Bombarral, no, or no?
I'm Óbidos.
They say Lourinhã is so good that even the winter go for summer holidays. It's so cold all the year. And
it's a bit windy. It's a bit windy sometimes.
Windy and cold. I mean, you don't need air conditioner over there because you have maybe 1 or 2 hot days during the whole year. And I really like coldness for sleeping. I don't like hot. I don't like hot weather. I don't really, unless you are on the beach or on the swimming pool. I don't like hot weather. People say, I love it's 40 degrees. Well, if you are with air conditioner or you're on the swimming pool, it's not nice for me. I mean, we are too whitish for this. No? And Lourinhã have this special thing that I really like, enjoy it. The weather is not the best, but I like it. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's like if you have someone, it's not perfect, but you like it. I like Lisbon. I live in a beautiful house here in front of the river. Okay. So I can show you here. No, you cannot see.
Yeah. I can see. Which part of Lisbon are you, Chakall?
San João, near the cemetery.
Okay, nice.
It's nice. Yeah, I mean, it's very quiet. It's normal people. I feel at home here. The people is really nice. I know everyone, and I think the other thing that we are coming from places we are not very safe. This is also the big difference compared to South Africa or compared to Argentina. Whatever is safe. It's a safe place. When people it's so unsafe, and say you don't know what unsafe is. No. People don't know what unsafe is. Oh, it's be careful, danger. What is dangerous? You don't know what dangerous is. It's the thing. Oh, they steal my car. I mean, they steal your car. You're lucky. I mean, my house at home, they steal your car. They steal your teeth. They give you shots, and you're lucky if you leave. No, I mean, it happens things as everywhere, but compared to any other places, people eating on the esplanades. You cannot compare. It's so safe. There is no police on the streets. In some countries, if there is no police on the street, I mean, everything will be collapsing. And this is the point, it's all small things that make the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you mentioned how for you and me, we're both from places that are not very safe. We're also from very big. Our country geographically, where we're from, is very big. Argentina is the same. I know for in South Africa to have a change of scenery, to have a change of climate, you have to drive 3 hours. Here, 20 minutes. I mean, how diverse is this country?
This is amazing. So small, and you have everything: the food, the weather. I mean, you drive from Lisbon. I always say, when I was living in Lourinhã, it was 40 degrees in Lisbon. Then I say, oh, I will go to the sea. Then you reach Mafra, it's already 30 degrees. Then you live on the A8, it's already 25. Then I arrived to the coast, it's 16 degrees. It was fucking, it's only 40 kilometers. Yeah, Buenos Aires, to leave Buenos Aires. My ex-wife is German, and we always, we went to Argentina with the kids, we always take a plane to go anywhere. Say, why we don't drive? I say, it's horrible to drive in Argentina because 6 hours, 7 hours, you're only gonna see cows and grass. I mean, you live in Buenos Aires, 6 hours of cow and grass. And the beginning, oh, so nice. Look, oh, the windmill, oh, nice. Then I say, oh, fuck, the windmill again. Oh, look at this. I mean, I remember when I was a kid going to the beach, it was 6-7 hours driving. It was horrible. I mean, I sit on the plane and then on the car, I sit on the seat just to sleep or read because it was so boring. Here you drive, and then you have a hill, then you have a mountain, then you have a sea, then it's cold, then it's hot. The diversity is in such small country is amazing in everything, no, in food, in the character of the people also.
Well, yeah, I mean, talk about the food a little bit, because again, it's something that we've spoken about before on the podcast. But I mean, how much of a pleasure is it to cook here with the ingredients and the diversity and the freshness and these kind of things? What can you tell us about that?
Well, you have everything here. I'm always discovering new things because Portugal is a secret to be discovered every day. 2 weeks ago, I was doing a job for a camera for a chamber. I don't know how you say it.
The Chamber of Commerce. No,
not
the Camera, the municipality.
Municipality, the municipality of the north of Miranda do Douro. I don't know if you've been there. Well, it's in Trás-os-Montes, and they have a lamb. Probably I found the best lamb I ever tried in my life, and it was in Portugal, and I never hear about before. And I believe me, I've been traveling, I've been doing a lot of fairs and everything. I've been always, and they say, oh, look, chef, we have this, we would like to send you for Christmas. You can talk about this and try it. When they send me, and I was like, wow, it was amazing. I mean, not New Zealand, no Irish, the best I ever try. And they explain me because of the weather, that makes always a difference. And then what they eat on the mountains, and it was really something special. And then you have fish. There is no better place in the world to eat fish. There is something. Portugal is number one, is grilled fish. You can eat fish in 2 countries. For me, that the people know how to work it, is Portugal and Japan. Different ways, because Japanese, they do it in a very different way, but they are the kings of fish. But these people grilling fish, there is no one else. Then lamb. Then you have amazing good meat, not big quantity like in our countries, but you have very good meat. You need to know what and how and everything, and the people is improving a lot. Vegetables in El Oeste, in the West, you have everything. You have amazing quality, also much better than any other countries in Europe. There's all plastic flavor and these things. You have products. I mean, you have all kind of qualities, but in general, you have amazing quality. It's amazing to cook here because you get all the best in a small place. If you want something different, as you say before, you need to drive or take a flight for 2 hours, and then you have a different product. Here is everything is just there. It's just grab your hand and then you have something new. And how it changed the food. I mean, the local food from north to south is amazing. Very simple, but I think the good food is always simple. I'm a grill man. I love grilled food. So whatever, fish, beef, not obviously, but I'm a grill man, 100%. So I can live only grilling. I mean, if I show you my house here, I live in an apartment. I have 4 grills outside, 4. I have 1 gas burner, and then I have 3 charcoal and smoker, and it's an apartment. So you can imagine. But this is the place. If I show you my fridges, and I have meats from all the best food from, I'm working now with a company of meats in Portugal, so I have all kind of meats and bread. Bread is amazing, also very different.
Oh, yeah.
Because in our countries, we basically we have one or two. Well, English countries, descendants are the worst because they always have sugar on the bread. My experience in Africa. When I was coming in Ghana, I say, fuck, again, this sweet bread. And then you go to a French country, say good bread again. And English country, bad bread again. And yeah, it's culture, you know.
Yeah.
But here it's amazing because you travel and the bread is amazing also.
Well, I mean, I remember in South Africa, the bread would stay the same for a whole week or 2 weeks. And that's when you know it maybe is not the healthiest bread in the world. And yeah, the bread is so delicious, but the next day it's not so good. You know, it's not fresh the next day. So then you know, wow, okay, actually we've got something special here. Yeah, bread is amazing.
I love bread, and bread is essential to have a good bread. So when you go to a country and the bread is not good, it's horrible. I remember this. I mean, when I was traveling, I was through a former English colony, former French colony, former Portuguese colony, and everyone. What I noted the big difference. I mean, the food in general, but the bread, it was the key point, because the French can do good bread, but the English cannot. They make always with milk and sugar, basically. It's in general, no. Today is different because you have bread from anywhere in the world, but in the basic culture, it was like that.
I mean, what are some of your favorite? I know this might be a difficult question, but what are some of your favorite traditional Portuguese plates of food and dishes?
Well, I mean, I like simple. If you like, I love bacalhau, cod fish, grilled with olive oil, or a lagareiro, just in the oven, olive oil, garlic, potatoes, simple. I don't like bacalhau con nata. I mean, I can eat, but it's nothing special. Bacalhau con nata, so the ones that are fried. I love cabrito, this goat, the goat in the north.
Baby goat.
If you ask me where, I tell you where. So it's different. So if I'm going to, if I go into Terceira Island, for me, Terceira have the best dessert in Portugal, the most original dessert. It's called Doña Maria, no, Doña. Well, I will remember. I have a recipe on one of my blogs. It's amazing. It's not pastel de nata. It's much better. Much.
Okay.
Then I love cracas in the Azores. You know, have you eat cracas?
How do you say it?
Cracas. I don't know if there is translation for that. It's a kind of it's a seafood. It looks like a rock. It's not percebe, something else. It's like a rock. And then you eat the heads. I was eating 2-3 days ago. I love it. It's like eating the sea. It's beautiful. Then you have an amazing meat, beef in all the islands, not only in San Miguel. If I'm going to the north, I love cabrito or borrego, lamb or goat. If I'm going to Algarve, I would like to eat some clams, basic clams with coriander and garlic and white wine. In Alentejo, I love ensopado de borrego, which is a soup, lamb soup with all bread, or migas. I love migas when they are good, or the porco preto, the black pig. It's difficult. If you go sopa da pedra, a good sopa da pedra, eat it in Almeirin, it's amazing. What's the name of the other soup in Braga? Caldo verde. Caldo verde, good caldo verde in the evening. It depends on the weather and depends on the mood, but you have food for every mood and for every weather. And this is the important thing. If you want to eat light, you eat just a grilled fish, sea wild, not from the swimming pool or whatever. And octopus, I love octopus. My father is from Galicia, so I'm from a small region. They are very specialists in octopus. I love octopus, but also here at Lagareiro, just grill it and with potatoes. No, I think good food is always simple. You need a good product, and this is a country with good products. You don't need to invent too much.
Yeah, we were very, very lucky here. I'm getting hungry, and I've already eaten lunch, so we need to change the subject. I saw recently you did a food truck, and you went to some of the hospitals around the country.
Yes, I mean we are making actually now we make 6 hospitals, and we made this on not for money, just to offer to give back something to the health system that it was very very much under pressure during that time. So I feel my obligation as a citizenship and as a chef do something, to give something back. So with some of my sponsors like Continente, Cacerola, we organized these 6 hospitals. But actually, on the first time of the pandemic, also we cooked in some hospital. It was not so mediatic, but we cook in Santarém, we cook in many hospitals. We make hamburgers. I have some sponsors of hamburgers. Now we make paella, seafood paella. And it was something, I mean, much more difficult, because to cook for 1,000 people every night, every lunch, and it was an amazing. It was absolutely priceless. The feeling with the things that we get back from them, all my team and I, like a Rastaman and me, we have every day the doctors coming, all the personnel that work in the hospital saying, "Oh, thank you very much." Someone is just not giving words, doing something, because it's nice to say we go out and we applaud the health system, but it wasn't a very small act, and we will keep doing. So actually, we have another 4 hospitals, because we received so many places say, "Oh, please come here. The doctors will love to hear, the nurses and everything." And so we are cooking on between the 17th and the 20th, I think, on the south of Portugal. We will be three hospitals in Alentejo and 1 in Algarve, just to finish. It was very hard, because we are cooking really on the food truck. So cooking for between 800 and 1,400 people. That was the average we have during the tour. We expect to cook for 400, 500 each. So after the first hospital we make on this second round, it was in Amadora Sintra. We say, well, we have a problem, because we're supposed to cook for 400, we cook for 900, I think. And it was like, wow. So then we have to buy new paellas, new stoves and everything. And then we organize proper to do it in that way. It was the best thing I have done this year, by far, this year and last year, because, and it's probably the only one I don't do for money, and give me a lot of pleasure.
Yeah, and you're seeing the country and the people in another different way, and seeing the resilience and the fight that we have here, and how people are just trying to do their best.
Yes, this is Portugal, no? But I think you can see, I think there is people like this all over the world, but here is most of the people, and this is the difference. There is shitty people as everywhere. There's no difference, and there is days that we hate some things. Oh shit, this is happening. This, why they are like this? But this is the few days. And saying we live 365 days a year. If I have 10 or 20 days like this in a year, it's normal. It's like you are like this with your kids, you are like this with your wife. You are not happy the 365 days or 366 days. So we need to note. I feel people sometimes, I talk to people from another nationality who are living a lot in Portugal, and say, "Oh, Portugal is this and this," and say, "Why you live here? I mean, no one put you gun here to live here." No, but for this, I say, "Well, don't complain. Be happy." I mean, if you are a Portuguese, you're born here, you live here, I mean, you have to eat it. You like it or you don't, or you leave. Like me or like you, we say, okay, we love our country and this, but this is too much for me. I quit Argentina, not because of money, not because of that, because I say it's too much, the insecurity. There's so many things that were negative. And once you live in Europe, say, well, it's normal to leave the house just normally locked down. Not locked, not like with 5 things and a guy taking care, and your car with blinded glasses and these things. This is not normal. Which is normal is this, and this is what I like here. It's the normality of the things, that you can live as a normal person. That you don't need, you need so much money to be safe in so many countries. That is money you spend it. You hear it, you save it. So you say to live in, I don't know how, I will not say South Africa, but I can tell you in Argentina, to live safe, you will need 3,000 or 4,000 euros more a month than the normal people. So these people, you save it here. This money, you save it. And this is what makes the difference. And the resilience of the people is how the Portuguese heart, it's like us, the Springboks and the Pumas.
Oh yes. Oh, we could do a whole nother episode just to talk about our rugby teams. Maybe we have to. You can bring the gin, and we do a grill at my house, and we'll talk about rugby for a whole afternoon. And our wives will just get completely bored.
You know who was Hugo Porta?
Who? Yeah, of course.
He was my
amazing.
coach. He was my coach.
Really? What position did you play?
Middle half. So he
Okay.
coaches. I was young. I was 10, 11, 12 on that time. And once every month we have the professional, the main team. I play for Banco Nación, National Bank. He was a player for National Bank in Argentina. So once a month, the main team train every position. He trained me once a month. I mean, it was an amazing guy. I saw
incredible
things. I was one day. This have nothing to do with us here, but I will tell it anyway. We were on a match, and the first team were playing to Banco Nación against another team of the main team in Argentina division, and our fans, they will start booing the others. He stopped the game. He came and say, "This is rugby. You don't boo anyone. If you like this, you leave now here." He stopped the match and he said like this. Everyone like God have talk, so no one say anything, and I was like, wow. And I learned a lot of that day. So like respect for the others. No?
Yeah. We did one of my favorite interviews was one of my earlier interviews on the podcast was with the ex Portuguese rugby captain, a guy called Vasco Uva. Yeah. And he played in the World Cup in France for Portugal. Yeah. And what a great, I loved that conversation, but I love rugby. So we could go on forever.
Yeah.
You mentioned you've got 8 restaurants in the country, and I think you said 6 are in Lisbon.
6 are in Lisbon, and 8. I'm not counting the ones in Algarve, which I'm executive chef. I sign the menu. So
okay.
2 restaurants are on the beach. I have 6 in Lisbon, 1 in Benfica State, 3 in Marvila. What else I have? 1 in Expo. 1 in Estoril. Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, which one do you which was the first one?
The first one, and this was El Bulo. It was not far from my house. When you called me, I was there, but I had the computer, but I didn't have the energy. This is my main restaurant. It's more South American, Argentinian. And next to that, I have a Chuck Burger, which is if you like hamburgers, we have the best hamburgers in Portugal by far. And very good prices, which is very honest price. And I have then I make a refectorio, which is a pizza place. My partner an Italian. Then I open another pizza place, pizza and carpaccio only, no pasta, in Expo. Then I open the Chuck Burger in Estoril, was the first. Then I opened the second in Lis, and then I opened. Then in the meanwhile, I opened Loriña, Arella Branca. With my sister, who runs there is my sister. She's the main owner. I'm a second owner there.
Okay.
I have partnerships, all different partnerships. I cannot be everywhere, so
of course
I try to be there. And then I open in Alentejo, which is a project for a hotel. We are making a small hotel of 12 rooms, but we started 2 years ago. So every time we want to do it, something happens. So it's in standby.
Okay. And I mean, which location do you like the most? Now, I'm not talking about the actual restaurant, but the location, the surroundings, the setting. Which one do you like the most? I know it's asking you to choose between of your children, but which one do you like?
No, they're here. I like Marvila very much, El Bulo. Every restaurant is different because they are all different concepts. So if you are in the mood of the beach, you have in Arella Branca, it's very casual. Also in Algarve, we have the 2 restaurants in Algarve. One is inside the hotel, but it's a meat specialist. Then we have the other one on the beach. It's more casual also, a bit more high class because you have a proper kitchen. El Bulo is probably more my heart. Here is in Marvila, but will be open on only to end of June. We are closing down because all the building where we stay will be sold for houses. So all the restaurants are there. Actually, I have 3 restaurants there. So I will move them. 2 of them already have a place. El Bulo, I didn't find a place. But if you have the time, you should come before 13th of June to have an experience because it's very Latin American, so it's very special. When you came inside, you say like, "Wow, it's 14 meters high inside." The pizzerias are very nice if you are in the mood for pizza. Also, we make special pizzas with different flours, so it's not normal flour. We have black flour, red flour, and good. Basically, it's all restaurants made it with good quality products.
Yeah. Wow. Sounds good. We'll have to come and visit a couple. Chakall, I mean, you come from a place where the wine is really good as well. Argentina, you have amazing wine. What about the wine here?
I love the wine here. Portugal is amazing. Price quality is probably the best wine in the world. Also, South Africa, I like very much Stellenbosch wine.
Yeah.
But Portugal have an amazing wine, and small regions, very one close to the other, very characteristic. I really like not the obvious regions that would be Douro and Alentejo, but I really like Dao. I like very much also Lisbon region, Tejo, former Ria Tejo. Riva Tejo. I think there is a bottle of wine there, just behind there. No? No, okay. I will show you my wine. I have an Argentinian wine, also my own wine.
Okay.
And I have a Portuguese wine. If you go to the south or if you go to the north, you have the green wine, the Vinho Verde in the north, which is amazing in summer to have with seafood and fresh. There is no bad wine in Portugal. Even the cheapest wine is you can drink it. In compared to Argentina or to South Africa, when the wine is cheap and it's bad, it's really bad. It's undrinkable. Yeah. It's acid, like you start moving your head. Here, you can drink anyway. Even in the box wine is good. I represent some wineries in Portugal, some cellars, and I always say, "Oh, this is our starting wine." I say, "Well, there is no bad wine. I have one again. This is one of my wines, but it's not with my face. This is an Argentinian one I made here. It's called Borrachito."
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I think I had one of your wines in the restaurant in Montgordo. Yeah. I think we had a wine. Or was it in Lourinhã? I can't remember.
You have the Portuguese because the Argentinian wine came in October, something like this.
So okay, so it was the Portuguese one then for sure.
I have 2 Portuguese and I have 2 Argentinians. I went to Argentina last year to choose my wine. I will not say I did my wine, but choose to say this and this and this. And in Portugal, I do the same.
Wonderful. Chakall, how can people follow you and stay up to date and just keep in touch with what you're up to and what you're doing?
Well, you have my Instagram is Chef Chakall. Chef Chakall. The most difficult is to write Chakall right. It's Chakall. Chef in English, not chef in Portuguese, not chef. And Facebook is Chakall. The LinkedIn I think is Chakall something also. I think we met through LinkedIn.
We met through LinkedIn. Yes.
Actually, I never really play attention to the LinkedIn, but then I found it's a very good tool for working and networking and everything real. What else? I have a Twitter also, Chef Chakall. I don't use it very much. Actually, it's me basically answering everything, but when it could be 3 weeks I don't answer anything, but it's me always answering. I don't post on my Facebook or Instagram, but it's me answering and looking the things and the things. So I'm quite in contact with the people. I'm not the kind of star that is unreachable or one mouth tweets. Can I say something improper? One us to shit. So we are all the same at the end of the day. So
exactly. We'll put links in the show notes so that people can follow you online and get to know about your restaurants, because soon we'll all be able to go to restaurants again. And so it'll be good for
already open. I came when I came. I was the Esplanade. It was full. I have a huge Esplanade. It's beautiful there.
Good. Okay.
It's in front of the park. It's amazing. When I was eating there, having lunch, I was full. It was very nice. It's nice to see the restaurant. Say, people, how you like the restaurants full?
Excellent. What is one thing that you want people to remember and take away from this conversation?
Well, I think people will take whatever they want to take from the conversation. No, at the end, it's difficult because everyone is different, and if it's about me, you will always think how we I think everyone is a bit famous or whatever is thinking how it's seen for the other people, no? And I always like to be seen as I am. I'm a simple guy, so simple guy who is lucky. I've been always lucky to choose what I wanted to do, lucky to can do what I always dreamed to do. So I'm at the end of the day, I'm a guy who dreams, and do the things. I dream to go to Africa. I dream to have a restaurant. I open 8. And I dream the things and I work for. And I think if I want to be remembered as someone who dreams and really do the things.
Okay, I like it. You called yourself a simple guy, so this is a question that we ask all of our guests. Portugal, the simple life, why?
Because it's a smooth. This is the word. It's a smooth country. It's people is not complex. It's simple. Most of the times they are what they look like. I mean, when you have a conversation, and this makes a difference. I always think in United States, no, people you are with an American. I mean, it's different people. Everything is fine, it's great, and then you see it's not great. And they say, oh, it's okay, but then it's more than okay. So the expectation is always less than what you're gonna get, and which is amazing. It's difficult when you're expecting to get the whole thing, and then you get one little thing. And with the people in Portugal, it's simple because the people are simple, and they talk from the heart most of the time. As everywhere, you have shitty people, but most of the people, I can tell you, I have, without ending, examples of good things with Portuguese people, things that you don't expect from some kind of people. You expect from some kind of people, but not from some other. And last week I was, which is simple. I make a deal with a company who paints bridges and things, and I bring some things to repair. And then when I ask the guy, say, how much? He said, no, Chakall, there's nothing. I say, no, please charge me. No. I say, what you've been doing for the hospital and the things, I really love it. And it's like this. I say, no, please, no. I say, it's my honor to do that. So like, no, this is simple. And I'm not, what I'm doing with these things for the hospital, for example, I'm not waiting for someone come to applaud me. I know it's a good marketing, we are not stupid, but I'm not doing for that. I mean, as I told you, I was doing this for 1 year and no one noticed, and people say, oh, you should talk more about this. I don't care. I mean, it's stopped, it's okay, of course it's good, but it's not why I'm doing that. And this shows why Portugal is simple, because people react to things, no? And in many countries, probably many people will ignore it. And I was with Bernardo, which is my assistant. It's called the Fox. And I say, look, that's why your country is special. It's my country now.
Yeah, it's your country as well.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Chakall, thank you. I've loved this conversation. I look forward to meeting you in person soon, one day.
Yeah, I hope so also. We will see. I will be quite often in Lorena.
That'll be good. For now, I'm going to let you call it.
Okay, that's a wrap.
So thank you once again to Chakall, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We'd love to hear from you. And as you say in Portugal, bom proveito. Welcome to the simple life.